Good morning. Come on in. Welcome back. No Surrender series. Ahoo! Gang, today we are going to be taking you, me and the tank are going to be taking you on the journey of rest day. How we do what we do systematically, hour by hour by hour, to squeeze out every ounce of progression we can. Tank is week 3 into prep, so shitload to talk about. Literally, she just did a little ab check in the mirror, quad check. Oh, she's coming in. But there's a lot to talk to you about, a lot to take you through, so stay tuned. Let's go. Ah, dogs. Dogs. It's all very exciting, isn't it? Go on then. No, this way. No. You don't go for a wee in the living room anymore, remember that? First thing we do is let the dogs out. Second thing we do, most importantly, is load ancillaries and drugs. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, there's a lot that goes into being bodybuilders, as we all know. And the first thing we should do is focus on the daily routine of making sure that supplementation, food, cardio, everything is done, again, like I said, from a systematic approach. So we're going to take you through exactly how we do what we do. Now, for myself, first thing I do in the morning, as soon as I get up, which was about 5 minutes ago, is I take on my T3. There's half a tablet. Take on my T3 and T4. Now I do my therapeutic dose of 37.5 mcg T3, 150 mcg of T4. What I also do is run 4 IUs of GH. I run 250 meg of L-carnitine, and I do my microdose test or TRT. So we're going to take you through that. What I also do first thing in the morning is I get out all of the supplements that we need for our day. So we do multivitamin and Mineral Pro by Supplement Needs. Mads has her 4 caps of Liver Stack, which helps her with her estrogen management and modulation. We do 6 caps of Omega, and then we do the rest of the ancillaries such as telmisartan. Yeah, it was quite good actually, because obviously we've just been to COS and you can buy that shit over the counter, so it's absolutely fucking brilliant. So although we won't completely admit to being the next Pablo Escobar, we got a lot of telmisartan and metformin, so you can literally buy that shit for like 3-4 euros. But what we do and what we try and focus on, and this is something that I want you guys to take away, is some of the supplementation that you will take on a daily basis you potentially aren't taking in the most optimal fashion. Okay, so when it comes to like T3, T4 for example, thyroid medication, some people take it, they take caffeine with it for example, that actually dents the bioavailability of that specific drug or pathway and what you're actually trying to do. So for example, I'll take this, I'll do my L-carnitine, I'll do my GH. All of those taken in a fasted state will maximise the bioavailability of some of the pathways, but not only that, for the fasted state that I'm in, I'll actually be able to maximise fatty acid mobilisation and oxidation, which is the primary goal. Obviously I'm not in prep at the moment, but if I can utilise pathways that are non-damaging long term, and I'm in a position where I can obviously manage fat cell mobilisation and reduce the amount of fat that I'm putting on during this time frame, then I'm in a good spot. So we're going to do that. We're going to take these, we're going to get L-carnitine in, get GH in, get tested, and the next person you'll see is probably the tank. This is what bodybuilders do first thing in the morning, isn't it, Mads?
Good morning, I've not said hello yet. This is my pre-cardio attire, I've just rolled out of bed. And weighed the same weight as I was yesterday for the first time ever. I haven't had a drop. It's very, very annoying. But yeah, this is what we do in the morning. So, Corey's morning stack's a little bit different to mine because I'm on prep, of course. So, I have a little bit more lipolytics in. I have GH, L-carnitine, Clen, Yimbine, and a support dose of T4. However, I won't go into exact dosages of what I'm doing. If you want to know exact dosages, go and look on our hub online and I write it all down, but I won't give it on the YouTube, so I don't want you to copy it. So, that's what we do. I take it fasted nice and early because it's important to maximise, and I think Corey's just said about this, but maximising the pathways that you're taking. And GH goes in between like 5 and half 5, and I tend to fast until about 9 AM. So I have about 4 hours without any food, just to maximise the use of that, because if we're going to do things, we want to make the most out of it, right? And on prep, we don't mind fasting a little bit longer because, you know what, we're really hungry, so if we can long our food out a little bit longer in the day, it's not a bad thing. So I am going to take my fasted supplements, and then I'm going to head off for cardio, and Stephen is going to come with me, and I'm going to continue to talk about why I do it fasted, my morning routine, and why it's important to get this absolutely nailed.
It's funny because this just has gone from 0 to 100 with us introducing the Next No Surrender series, and then you're getting a very, very different insight into what happens on a daily basis. But for everyone watching who is a high-level bodybuilder, they'll look at this and be like, oh, it looks like my morning routine, or it probably should. And we don't want to make this all about drugs, obviously, because that's not the reality, but it is an important part to play. You did a really good, you had an interview with somebody, didn't you, yesterday, about drugs.
Female peds in bodybuilding.
Female peds in bodybuilding.
Yeah, so I'm doing like a research study around the psychological effects of females taking peds, which is really interesting actually.
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear. I just earwigged pretty much when I was working, but really, really interesting. Quick tip: anything you do from a GH, where do you do your GH? Do you do it sub-Q or do you do it intramuscular?
Sub-Q into my belly fat.
Okay, I do it intramuscular, so you can do either or for anything, really, can't you? Which is a nice little fun fact, because I get a lot of questions about where would you inject it, why would you do it intramuscular, or can you do it intramuscular? There's been some studies to show that from a sub-Q perspective, you can inject like over 1.5 ml, but the dispersion for that would be absolutely ridiculous, and your ability to cleave that. So I would say like anything up to 0.5 ml, you're probably alright with sub-Q, but after that I'd look at intramuscular, but I do everything intramuscular. Test, GH, and L-carnitine, etc.
Pre-cardio is so important to hydrate. So I take my supplements with 500 ml of water, 600 ml of water. I fill up a little bottle and I take all my supplements, which is what I just did. Now, during cardio, 1.5 litres, and the cupboard of gains, Electrolyte Plus. You might think, oh, is that really necessary? Yes. If you just drink water and you don't take on any kind of sodium or potassium, you are not going to rehydrate. So it is super important. Obviously, first thing in the morning, you're going to do cardio and you're taking on water, but you're not actually taking on any kind of like electrolytes at all. So I put a scoop of Electrolyte Plus in my water that I drink during my cardio, and honestly, it makes a difference. So, it's not a cheap plug, genuinely. Pre-cardio in the morning, get something like this in your ultra cardio water, and it does make a difference, and it actually tastes good. It might actually make you want to drink. More for discount, supplement needs.
Mads walks to the gym and I walk with her for moral support and love. I take the dogs for a walk and it helps me get my steps in. I do about 25 minutes pre-work and food, but I'm going to work and do a longer work block this morning before you guys get back, so I can show you what my food setup is like. I've got more carbohydrates in at the moment, which is nice. I was just explaining to Stephen and allowing Mads to hear for the 400th time about how shit I feel at the moment. And there's no neg, it's just a reality of trying to pull myself out of the prep hole that I am in at the moment, but a lot of internal questions about the reality of this reverse. We can't be quite as aggressive out of the gate in terms of allowing fat gain to be able to regain normal function, mental and physical. So because of that restriction, I'm literally like living in a constant fatigue state at the moment. But my weight is moving. Now the reality of that is I'm not going to get any more food because of that. So I can't, like, that's the only thing that can really make me feel better. Training less isn't going to do it. Moving less isn't going to do it. I literally need to eat and gain fat to be able to regain normal function. And I'm not in a position where I can do that because my weight is actually creeping up. So it's just like I'm literally stuck in a position where I'm going to continue to feel like shit for the foreseeable, and it's really not enjoyable. But it is bodybuilding. I do love this sport. It's important to try and turn your emotions off in these situations, and just remember that for me and for most of us who do this at an elite level, like, this is just a job. It still doesn't make it any easier sometimes. Dogs! Proud of you. Let's go. First place, baby. Bye. Love you. Love you.
Prep, mornings, walking to the gym. Now I've joined a new gym for my cardio because I've also got a shitload of steps to do. So I thought, what's a good idea? I'll join a gym I can walk to, box off 5,000 fasted steps, and get my cardio done. So that's what I'm doing. But my setup at the minute isn't too bad. I am 2.5 weeks into prep, and I am about 4 kilos down for my heaviest-ish. Lowest weight today, 66.7 from my highest, which was about 70.9. And I have abs and veins. So that's good. Last time I was 66.5 kilos, in prep, I was a bit of a potato last year. So that means I've hopefully grown some muscle, so that's good. But today I've got a rest day, which means I've got 45 minutes fasted cardio on the stairs. On a training day at the minute, I've got 30 minutes. Food is still high. I'm trying to keep food as high for as long as possible. I am currently natty, or a fake natty. Obviously I'm taking lipolytics and I run TRT, but I'm not in a super physiological range at the moment of androgen, so I'm a fake natty. So trying to keep food as high as long as possible to support training performance, muscle retention, etc, etc. So that means that cardio is pushed a little bit higher and lipolytics are a little bit higher at this point, just so we can retain some food. So on a training day I'm eating 300 grams of carbs, 150 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat. And on a rest day, same protein, same fat, but 200 grams of carbs. So about a 400 calorie difference there. But today's a rest day, so it's the first time on Sunday, on my last rest day, I actually started to feel pretty hungry. But it was a long day over at Nabba, so I'm hoping today, a bit of a shorter day, eat my first meal later, eat my last meal earlier, it'll be a little bit better. So 45 minutes cardio, abs and posing is the morning routine. So hopefully they're going to let Stephen into the gym to film me. Like a bit of an alien in here. So I spend far too long on the Stairmaster in the morning compared to other people. And then I put a pair of sparkly heels on and walk around the gym and pose. And if you're a bodybuilder, you'll get this. If you go to a commercial gym or just like a bit of a normal gym with like normal folk, like this is everyone's busy at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like we're on an industrial estate, like workers everywhere. Like, I look weird, and you'll get this. Like if you're a bodybuilder, do cardio at 6 AM, then put a pair of sparkly heels on in a non-bodybuilding gym. Like the looks you get is just like, what is this girl doing? Who is she? Why is she doing that? 6 AM, stop it. Oura Ring, Apple Watch, Fitbit, take it off. The Stairmaster will record your heart rate. You do not want the steps. Cardio and steps are separate. You've got it on, you're cheating. Take it off. Posing done, abs done. That was hard because I do 45 minutes on a rest day now, and on a Wednesday I Smith squat, so my legs are fucked on a Thursday morning, and then I have to step on the stairs for 45 minutes. It's fucking awful. Every other day feels like a breeze, but I'm not complaining because I'm getting lean. I feel quite lean today. I've got abs, got some veins, feel good. But going home, I'm going to continue to fast for another hour and a half, 2 hours, and Corey's probably starving hungry because he said he was going to wait for us before he eats his first meal. So we're going to go back, I'm going to shower, de-sweat, and get ready for the day. I've got check-ins, of course, tons of check-ins, and I've got girls competing this weekend, so they're already checked in. But yeah, start the day properly now. 7:30, main jobs are done, rest day. Oh, thank you.
Can I help you?
Yes, move on to I need to come in.
Starting. I've done so much fucking work. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's amazing how productive you can be when you're waiting to eat.
That's exactly what I said. I said that's
Is
why
it really?
I long out meal 1 till 9, and it's amazing how much more productive I am because I'm like, it's like my reward for finishing my check-ins.
It does a lot for mental focus, I think. A little bit of mental grit as well. Like I've just sat there and I've absolutely fucking nailed my check-ins.
Yeah.
Like no one, I've beat everyone to their daily check-ins. So the way that we set things up, clients always send their check-in photos the night before, so when we wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, we can get stuck straight into it. Now, for guys on prep, they check in on the day, obviously, and I've managed to nail my check-ins from last night, which are for today, and then all of my daily check-ins, I've literally beaten to, so I'm waiting for them. Let's go. Right, meal 1's about to go down. I'm going to take you through morning supplements, the fantastic sludge drink that I make, sponsored by Supplement Needs, we're all for discount, but this meal 1 fucking bangs, mate. Stay tuned. So morning drink is about to go down. Now, the reason as to why we do this is number 1, just so we can load as much of our supplements as we need to all in one. The good thing about it is a lot of the things from Supplement Needs, as you can see, have different flavours and have different purposes. So we've got kidney and blood pressure stack, we've got AM primer, we've got electrolyte, we've got glutamine, we've got creatine. So these are all things and necessary things that we're going to get in on the morningly basis, along with half a squeezed lemon and apple cider vinegar. So formalities of this: apple cider vinegar and lemon help to neutralise bad bacteria through the gut. So putting that in first thing in the morning is very, very productive. Glutamine helps with digestion, and obviously paired with these two, very, very good. Creatine goes in because we take 5 grams of creatine on a daily basis to help replenishment of ATP stores and performance. Electrolyte Plus is for hydration purposes and electrolyte balance in the body. And then you've got kidney and blood pressure stack. For any androgen users, you should be doing this. It manages hypertension and helps with vasodilation to reduce hypertension within the body. So with viscosity of obviously taking androgens, viscosity of blood, you're going to be in a position where your blood's thicker, so it needs support to be pumped round. Vasodilations opens blood vessels. And then last but not least, AM priming. Now, we split this up in 2 drinks so we can maximise the amount of fluids we take on in the morning. I'm going to get making this, but that is part of meal 1. Sludge drinks goes in. Slices of sourdough bread, is made up of 250 grams of strawberries, 100 grams of egg whites, 3 whole eggs, and 300 grams of non-starchy veg, which I absolutely fucking love. So I do 100 grams of lettuce, 50 grams of pepper, 50 grams of courgette, 50 grams of asparagus, and 50 grams of mushrooms. Again, anal, don't give a fuck, but that's what we're going to do. So meal 1 is about to go down, and this is made. It may not sound very nice, and I would actually ask a question: does anybody else fry their lettuce? Mads is like, that's fucking absolutely grim because it should be cold, it should be crunchy, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I've eaten lettuce for so fucking long, I literally can't let it go. So anything I can do to make it nice. I also make a fucking shitload of mess, as you can see when I do this, but I clean the kitchen because I am a domestic god, so I don't really give a fuck. But we go in, meal 1. I'm actually quite excited to make this and show you guys because like now I'm actually in a position where I can eat some food, although I don't feel like it's enough. Joe Jeffries, fuck you. I am actually in a position where I can like focus on the food that I'm making. I think that's super important. Like when you come out of this prep phase and when you come out of your dieting phases, be in a position where you can actually enjoy what you eat, and you can take time. Like as you can see, apart from the fact that I'm butchering a lettuce, like I've thought about every single thing that I'm eating and how I'm going to make it and why I'm going to make it like that, because I actually enjoy it. So yeah, that's a good piece of advice for you all, but we're going to get stuck into meal 1. Wait until you see the final piece of this meal. It fucking bangs. Control. Eggs in the microwave. Corey, why are you doing eggs in the microwave in a Tupperware pot? Let me show you. So, actually, I'm going to get this. Does that look like half a Tupperware pot to you? Yes, of course it does. So what we do, we cut it in half, and then we place it perfectly. I'm waiting for Stephen's like impressive laugh, which he gives me every now and again. Ta-da! So we have perfectly cooked eggs that haven't been burnt by Slee, and they fit perfectly on the bread. And that is how Slee makes his breakfast. 4 grams of salt have gone on it. We get 0 or no sugar ketchup. And then we have 1 egg sandwich and one sandwich like that. And that is with PM priming, AM priming. I'm going to lay it out for you guys. Is that my coffee, Madeline? Go on, chuck it over so I can make a little bit of a scene here. So that is Slee Raw's breakfast. We have 100 grams of egg whites, 3 whole eggs, 3 slices of sourdough bread, 300 grams of non-starchy veg with a coffee, AM priming and 250 strawberries. God, it's a good time to be alive. Fucking starving. Yeah, bye.
Just making meal 1. I'm going to take it with us before we go out. So I'm still fasting. Smells amazing. But I've changed my food around a little bit. So I used to eat 6 meals a day. And because I fast now, and if I was training today, I'd only have 1 meal before I train, whereas I'd usually have 2. So I'm only eating 5 meals a day, which is actually better because it means my meals are a little bit bigger. So a little bit of a hack, although people think they're going to be hungrier because they're eating less amount of meals, actually means my meals are bigger. So it's just better. Like, I actually eat a meal and feel satisfied as opposed to have more meals but they're just like pony and tiny and shit. So yeah, less meals and then they're bigger.
Yeah,
much better.
Meals, satisfaction.
For now.
Slee Raw's going for a haircut. Mads and Stephen are going to get a coffee, and I'm hoping not a muffin. You going to buy me a muffin?
Absolutely not.
Right. Wish me luck.
Enjoy.
See you later.
My meal 1, and I've longed it off until 20 past 9. I've been fasting for 4 hours. I've got 50 grams of oats, don't look like much, 50 grams of oats, 25 grams of whey, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 50 grams of raspberries. Do you know what? It's my favourite meal of the day. So I'm going to show you a few of my check-ins, which hopefully is interesting. I've got April on show number 3 this week. She looks amazing. She did have a minor blip this week. She had what we think was food poisoning, not last night, the night before. So 4 days out, not ideal in your peak week. She lost 2.5 kilos overnight, so when I should have been fat loading her, instead I had to try and bring her back to life a little bit by giving her a baseline of carbs, fats and protein and just try and restore some normality. So today we're on fat loading. She's a lot better, but it does mean that I have got a higher fat day today with her. So understanding that obviously peak weeks aren't always going to go to plan. Your like nailed down peak that you might have with somebody. Last week she was perfect. I wanted to run the same thing. I can't. It's not going to work. So we've had to adapt a little bit. A super high day today of 95 grams of fat. And then tomorrow I will begin at carb loading her. But she looks absolutely incredible. This is Katie Downey checking in this morning from Spain, looking absolutely ridiculous. Katie Downey is my toned figure competitor for PCA this year, and she will also go on to do 2 bros this year as well, along with a few other federations, just to kind of dip her toe in. But she's somebody who has allowed the time to grow. So competed 2 years ago with me, very short prep. She came to me 6 weeks out, and has literally spent the last 2 years dedicating herself to growing, to ensuring that she's got the tissue on that she needs, and absolutely executing everything. She is phenomenal. She's got a lot of muscle. I'm very excited for her to go on stage this year. She is 1 week into her primary phase of prep and she looks ridiculous. I'll show you a comparison in a second as well that she sent me yesterday of the same weight last year to this week. Exactly the same weight a year apart. It's insane. I'll show you now. Madness. And this is why you spend time in your off season, time with a coach, time going through your phases, your pushes, your pulls, your mini cuts, your progression phases, and you commit the time. She's going to be very, very different this year, and I think very, very hard to beat. So I'm excited to display her. But yeah, she's just checked in, so I will gonna get back to her now. But yeah, so excited to get her on stage this year. Next up, I've got Mia Calver. Mia has been with me now, I want to say, nearly 40 weeks, so coming up to a year in a couple of months, and the progress we have made is absolutely crazy. She came to me saying, Mads, I want to compete. I said, alright, we've got work to do, but of course we can do that. And she's someone who's stuck at it a long time, and she's just going through a transition now where she's going from a natural athlete to an assisted athlete. Now, this doesn't mean she couldn't continue to make progress as a natural athlete, of course she could, but she also understands that to chase the goals that she wants to, in the time frame that she also wants to, that she's probably going to have to take that step. And not only that, we're talking about not necessarily assistance such as, oh, we need to take high levels of androgens to grow loads of muscle, but we're looking at things like TRT, because me as someone who wants to compete, she's shown me that she's in this for the long run. She nails everything. She nails her recovery, her training, her food. She works so hard that nothing else is missed. Now, when she comes to compete, we're going to be going through a prep, an off-season, a prep, an off-season, potentially detriment in health long term. So the first thing that we're looking at is putting her at a TRT dose to support her physiologically. We've had bloods done, we've taken our time, make sure that we've got bloods, we can justify the reason, what we're doing with reasoning, and also ensure that everything else is in an optimal place before she transitions into this assisted off-season. But just to show you how much progress that we've made so far, this is Mia this morning, she looks like, and that is where she started. So when you make that comparison, that has been done with pure hard work, training, eating correctly, and not missing a single part of the plan. And that is the important thing here, that we can justify leveling up as an athlete when you've almost completed level 1. Like, Mia has taken off about 20 kilos worth of weight. She's gone from somebody who likes to train in the gym but not really any kind of focus to being a bodybuilder who's ready to take it to the next level. I'm super proud of her. She looks absolutely insane, so I'm excited for the rest of her journey. Looks well good.
Stealth mode.
Do you like it?
New do. Silver sleeve.
I think it looks sick.
It looks alright.
Yeah, you look younger.
Do I?
Yeah.
Like a 19-year-old going through adolescence.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you like it, Stephen?
I like it. It's good.
Like it?
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah?
Is it nice? Yeah, digging that. I think it looks super cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
New sleep. I said to Stephen this morning, I said, I think I'm going through a midlife crisis. I can't eat any food, I'm fucking starving. So if I can't get a rascal tattoo, I might as well dye my hand.
Yeah, it looks really good, yeah.
Yeah? Fancy me, yeah?
Yeah.
Fancy. Good.
I think he's going a bit edgy.
Edgy.
Edgy. He's got like an oversized grey t-shirt on and he's dyed his hair white.
To be fair, I could be if I was in this coffee shop. I feel like I'm in Shoreditch.
I feel like you belong at these.
Yeah. There you go. New do for sleep. So we're just having a conversation about being a human being. Being in this Costa coffee shop, although it's like half a bar as well, you ask yourself the question, what would it be like to be normal, to not be a bodybuilder? And the reality is, as we've just discussed, at times where you can have a little bit more flexibility, I would advise anyone watching this to take it, because times where you can't have flexibility, where you can't replace a meal with a brunch, for example, whether they be pancakes, whether they be an English breakfast style, like, make the most of it, because me and Mads are in a position where we can't do that now. And in actual fact, during our time of escalation, muscle gain, progression phase, we didn't take the opportunity to go for brunch and replace a meal where in actual fact you should have enough calories where you can do that. So although I may not be your coach watching right now, I'm telling you, if you are someone who is planning to compete, the times where you do have the ability to be flexible and do have a bit more of a free reign, make the most of it. Because then when you sit here you can say, well, in off season I did do that brunch, or I did go for that coffee and have a muffin or a piece of cake. It won't fucking hurt long term, but you definitely won't be doing it in prep, so make the most of it in off season. Meal number 2 about to go down. As always, I will say, make love to your food, present it nicely, make it an occasion, certainly on the reverse, because that way it will give you something to focus on. But meal 2 is 125 grams of rice, 300 grams of non-starchy veg, 170 chicken and 150 pineapple. So I'm not going to take you through the full formality of making it, but I will show you what it looks like when it's done. Another sterling meal coming up by Slee, Silver Slee, the half-naked chef. You like that? No?
No.
You're just so unimpressed by Slee.
I know.
You used to fancy me when I was shredded.
Yeah. No, you're better now you're not shredded.
Better now I'm not shredded. Right, so I've got a bit of meat to the old bones, eh? Something to grab hold of, eh, mads? Hey?
So, you can tell Corey's very food focused. He wants to talk about every meal that he's eating. We are halfway through the day. We have got some reels to record for some presentations that we're putting out. So we've got a new raw prep guide that we are putting out. When you're watching this, the first one will already be out, so you all already will have watched it. But it's a 12-part series of what is prep, the things you need to consider, things to help you in prep. We talk about lipolytics, we talk about the roadmap, we talk about all sorts of things. So we're about to record a set of reels to put out every single week to talk about each drop that will come. And then we have got a call with our business mentor, Mr. Ben Hawksworth, the Ben, Sir Ben, about what we are doing next and just how we are moving forward with our business. And it's been really important for us, alongside our coaching, to make sure that, you know, we are a business, we are raw coaching, and it's more than just coaching people. It is running a business, how we continue to level up, how we continue to provide good service to you guys and our existing clients. So having Ben in our corner has been absolutely fantastic for us, and we are actually going to do a talk with Ben called 10 Talks on the 7th of July. I think that's up in Leeds. So if you are interested in listening to us talk about how we've managed building our business alongside being athletes, being coaches, etc., we are going to be doing that. So you can ask below, or we'll put a link in our bios. Head over to Coach Consultant, and Ben's got tickets on there. But that's the plan. We've got reels to record, we've got a call with Ben, and then pretty much, apart from finishing our meals for the rest of the day, we are pretty wrapped up, so we can let Stephen go home, and then we can do chill.
Stay tuned for the food though. Midway point of culinary delight with Slee. We have chicken in the pan. We have the veg cooking nicely. 100 grams of this is going to go in, which is 5 grams of carbs. Ooh. You wait until this meal's done. How good am I at cooking now, babe?
I think, to be honest, people will prefer my meal.
Not at all.
Corey's been fucking about his meal for ages. That's a heck chicken sausage bagel. Took me 2 minutes. Way nicer than chicken and rice.
Wait until I fucking finish, mate. Are you going to eat that before we have the opportunity to compare?
Yeah, there's nothing to compare.
No, there is. There is.
Well, I'm hungry because I've waited 4 hours for you to get your hair done, so I'm probably just going to eat it.
Okay, fair enough. Suit your fucking self. Told you I don't fucking mess about tonight. Way better than your meal. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this isn't the fucking goated chicken and rice you've ever seen. Greatest of all time.
And you use long grain rice, so shit.
Long grain rice is fucking unreal. It's because every time you bite into it, it's like I don't know what they're like pillows. Do you know what I mean? They've actually got some like grit to it. Like look. Do you know what I mean? You can't really see that, it's a grain of rice. Anyway.
Yeah, stick to your chicken rice.
Nothing better. This is fucking unreal. Make effort to make your food nice. We came, we saw, we rest stayed. It is 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You've seen meals, you've seen drugs, you've seen cardio, you've seen haircuts, you've seen coffee. You've seen everything I think we possibly need to show you. We have been working our little titties to the bone, unless you imagine you've got big titties. We've been working very, very hard over the past couple of hours, just putting content together for some new releases that are going to be happening through Raw Coaching, which is super exciting. That's fundamentally what we do on rest days. It is all work and putting our feet up a little bit, but there's not much more to show you. We are about to jump on with Ben, our business consultant, to just go through some formalities and what we're going to be doing moving forward with the brand, which is super exciting. Again, always trying to level up not only ourselves as athletes, but ourselves as coaches and as a brand, from brand recognition and support to maximise our progression for clients. Like, that is our fucking main job, and that's why we're in a position where we can do what we can do. So it's been eventful. When are we back on? What have we got coming next?
I'm not sure what we've got coming next, but this weekend we are at Fit Expo with Supplement Needs for the weekend.
That'd be good.
And then we have a client in bikini on Sunday, so it's a fun-filled weekend. But I think that is all for today. We have just done a load of filming for the Raw Prep Guide, which I touched on earlier, stood in that doorway. So that's going to be coming to you very soon, and you may have already seen the first one by the time you're watching this, so that's super exciting. But for now,
stay tuned for the next episode. As always, gang, no surrender. Oh!